Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our Take Over the Map challenge here on Survival 4X. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are in the start of planting season here at the tail end of March. We have some sunflowers and onions to plant. I've already got our worker out there trying to start with the Kinsey planter to plant some sunflowers. And we've got a bunch of equipment lined up behind us that we have recently serviced. And we are going to be taking this equipment and we're going to be selling it off. Now, I know that it is full of fertilizers and seeds and stuff, but I can't be bothered to deal with that many pallets, so I'm just going to sell it anyway. It's going to be a bit of a loss. I'm going to lose a lot of money on this overall, but I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to make a decent chunk of money from this, and then we're going to turn that money into another Kinsey planter, which we are going to use to start planting the onions. And then we're going to see how much money we got left over. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into seeing what we're going to make off of selling this stuff. Now, again, on this map, there is no sell point for your equipment. Like, there's no equipment shop. So we're just going to be selling everything straight up. So let's start with the cheapest thing right out the gate, which will be this little fertilizer trailer. Let's go ahead and sell that. $17,500 to start. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, let's see what we got for the next bit. We've got the DB120. It's going to give us another $154,000 in the bank. Beautiful. All right. And then, of course, we have the air cart. If we go ahead and sell that, that is going to be another $192,000 just for the air cart. And apparently, I am still hooked up to this, so I can't sell it. So let me go ahead and pull our case tractor forward. There we go. Well, might as well leave that on because we're going to be needing to go into town and pick up our new Kinsey planter anyway. All right, so there is the last of it. Let's go ahead and sell this. That's $247,000. Absolutely beautiful. And just selling all of that has brought us up to $816,000 in the bank. So, yeah, I think now is a great opportunity to go ahead and head over into town and buy ourselves a new Kinsey planter. So we want to go down here to planters, go to the Kinsey Multi-Fruit Unrealistic that can plant everything, which I believe is this one right here. And we are going to go with the standard working with for now. We will have all of this. That's fine. We don't need a rear hitch. Capacity will be maximum. Colors are fine. We don't need to worry about any of that. Perfect. $177,000 gone. Beautiful. All right, let's go into town. We'll grab that, and we're going to get this tractor working on upgrading our, or not upgrading, but planting our onions. We have $639,000 left in the bank, which gives me an idea. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But I think we are almost completely done with our current Phase 1 strategy. We have almost completely taken over the entire side of the map. We have our entire farm set up. Basically, everything is capable of running with me just putting workers on it, which is going to open the door for us being able to utilize our time elsewhere. And by elsewhere, I mean putting up productions, terraforming, not necessarily terraforming, but building up the infrastructure and potentially starting some other farms around the map and industry. But Kinsey, welcome to the farm. You are going to be a solid addition. We want to change the Kinsey over to being able to plant onions. Whoa there, killer. Does the Kinsey not plant onions? I could have swore our Kinsey was capable of planting onions. We may have to call a mulligan. May have to call a mulligan. We've used the Kinsey to plant onions, I swear. Maybe we got the wrong. Let's go ahead and fill this thing up with liquid fertilizer. While that's filling up, let me run over to our other Kinsey. I know this thing is planting sunflowers currently, so I don't want to stop it, but I swear we used this to plant onions last time. Have I just shot myself in the foot? Hold on. Let me check the vehicles here. So we have two Kinseys. One is base game crops, and it does plant onions. The other one does not plant onions, but plants everything else. I have kind of shot myself in the foot there. I bought the wrong one. Okay, I mean, it's still fine. It still plants everything that we need except onions. So there's that. Also, let's make sure that we have plenty of fertilizer. It does take forever to fill this thing up. Man, I can't believe that I did that. The good news is it's not that big a deal. We just got to remember that only one of these can do onions. So what I'm thinking is, alright, that should be enough fertilizer for the time being. We'll fill this thing up with seed. And then we are going to go over to that other planter. We're going to fire this guy. Not his fault. This is all on me. We're going to change this to planting onions. There we go. And we will once again try to have the onions in this field. We're just going to have to watch them very carefully and see if anything terrible happens. But we'll get the onions planted here, and then we'll bring the other planter down to plant the rest of the sunflowers. Guess I can just run around the corner. Ain't that big a deal. While that's filling up, I'm going to go ahead and grab some fuel. How much fuel we got left? I feel like I've been using it quite a bit. Ah, we still got plenty. We still got plenty of fuel. We're doing okay. Alright, that should be plenty to get this field done. I mean, that is a lot of seed and a lot of fertilizer. So we'll get this thing down there, get it planting. That way we can get this going. We do have some big expansions to the farm coming up real soon, because, like I said, we do have a lot of room that we can turn into fields still down this valley. A lot of room. So while he's planting that, we are going to come over here and pick up where he left off. we want to make sure this is the same, and then it should just pick up right where he left off right here. And it looks like it's going to. All right, so we have $582,000 in the bank currently. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and check out farmland, because I believe we should be able to buy two chunks of farmland. All right, so if we wanted to, we could grab 54 and 55 right now, right? 255, 255, that'd be $510,000. Maybe 511 something, 511.6, something like that. So we could do that. I think we will do that, because I was thinking we could potentially like buy some of the land around the town as well. That would allow us to start potentially like fixing that up. But we really need at least three pieces of land there if we're going to do that. So yeah, I think we just go ahead and buy the property right here. And buy this property right here. Now, this, I hope, isn't going to be an issue, but I bet it is. Because I feel like this tree line right here is going to kind of stop us from doing what we want to do. But I don't know. Until we actually look at the overall like look of the land, we're not really going to know. So the main thing is we're going to pop out of here with the tree be gone. And we're going to go down and see if we can't figure out which fields need to be expanded on in the near future that we just purchased. That leaves us with $68,000 in the bank. Now, somebody told me to check on my productions, make sure I got everything set right. I think I do. If we look at the stonemason, we're still waiting for stones. But I think it's because it produces the stones faster than it can, it produces things faster than we actually produce stones out of the quarry. Oh, we're storing the stones. Well, we don't want to do that. Set that to distributing. That'll help. Or at least it should. Alright. And then hopefully that will start to work automatically and we won't have to worry about it. Because we should have this already selling automatically. Alright. Well, good call on the telling me that I need to make sure that everything is distributing. Because I would have missed that. And I'd have been like, why am I not making any money off of this? Yeah, well now we know. Probably ought to go check on the quarry and see if there's pallets over there. Alright, so right out the gate, this field here could be a potential field if we pull these trees back. So we're going to go ahead and yeet these trees. Not getting into the nitty-gritty of the trees, just these couple of trees that are out here by themselves. Beautiful. Alright, so that frees this field up to be used. It's not a big field, but it is a field. We got rid of that, right? It's going to be a couple of ghost trees. Yeah. But that frees this area here up to be a potential field. This next area, we got quite the hill. So we're not going to be able to utilize all of this necessarily. But if we can get rid of these trees that are right through here, I think that would go a long ways. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Now, obviously, we're going to have to go in and mow all this at some point. But I'm basically trying to open up an area that's going to make multiple fields possible in the near future. Beautiful. All right, let's get to the next little batch of trees. I love when they just poof out of existence. It's my favorite. Don't have to worry about them at that point. Nice little cherry tree. Sorry, cherry. You're done. But if we come over here and get rid of a lot of these little trees and stuff that are blocking our way, then we can turn these areas into big fields as well, which is only going to help us in the long run. All right, we got one more little tree here. Now let's head over to the next batch of trees. Again, I'm not getting into the main forest. We're just cleaning up the area that we can actually potentially put a field on. And I'm thinking that we might turn this into grass. Because we're starting to get to that point, we're going to need more silage for our cows. We're going to need more grass. Like, it's going to be a thing. So I'm thinking that we come up with a new grass field. And this area right through here, I think, might be a perfect grass field. That's why, like, the real like wide or tall hills and stuff shouldn't be an issue for us if it's a grass field, because we're just going to run the forage harvester on it anyway. But we got to get rid of all these trees to make this grass field possible. It's pretty dense down through here. It'll be fine though. I love the tree be gone, man. I said I love the tree be gone, man. Thank you. And I know you can do it with the blade up as well, but in my experience, that tends to leave some tree stumps behind, which we don't want. We want to make sure that we don't accidentally leave any tree stumps. New Holland's doing pretty good for this so far, which is good. Wasn't sure how it would do for using the tree be gone. Well, I say that, and then that happens. Really? Go away! We've got a massive expansion coming up real soon. Right. Let's go down and grab these couple of trees down here, if they still exist. Reverse here. I think I left a stick on the ground. There we go. Alright, I'm pretty sure we got all that. Should just be down to this a little bit down here now. I think those are just bushes, so we should be good there. Beautiful. Alright, so this should be a good area that is clear now. So this field can become a thing. And like I said, I think I might turn this into a grass field. We might not be able to do the entire hillside there, because that does get stupidly steep. But that might be a thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map real quick and kind of get a gauge for where we are. And what kind of land we own. Because that is going to cause us some potential problems here. Okay, so we still own all this up this direction, so that's good. The real question is, what do we want to do with this? Now, if they're along the roadways, I don't really mind. We can kind of leave those for the time being. But obviously the ones that are in the center of this gotta go. So yeah, we'll get rid of this group over here. This is why it's so nice to have so much equipment now, is because we can get so much more done while we're focusing on other things. Let me double check, make sure our workers are still working. They seem to be. That's good. Alright. Let's turn this thing around. Gotta go up here, grab this next bunch of trees. Go grab these ones up here. Now again, I don't know exactly how much of this is our property, but it looks like they're going to be on our property, so we're good. Have to check in again when we get closer. I do like this valley though. It's really nice. I feel like that'd be good for like a, I don't know, like a vineyard or an orchard or something. Boy, that didn't want to go away. Alright. I mean, technically, I think we kind of went off our property just a hair there, but that's fine. As long as we know and we get back on our property, I don't think it'll be a problem. A lot of tree cleared today, I ain't gonna lie. But this will make way for a lot of potential field in the very near future. Then what we can do is go through and mow all this. In like the next episode, we can mow everything, which is going to be a massive time lapse. Then we can go through, and then the episode after that, we can plow everything up, create the fields. I mean, overall, during this series, we really haven't had a lot of trees that we've gotten rid of. You know, a couple here, a couple there. Today's going to be the exception because I want to make some big fields down this direction. And so you kind of got to clear all these little trees that are in the way. Like I said, we're not going into the forest. We're just clearing all these little bunches of trees that are hanging around. I think you guys can see, like, if we can get this last piece of property over here to solidify this field is going to be absolutely massive. Because there are no roads blocking us or anything. This field is just, like, absolutely insane. And I don't time-lapse these sorts of things because the time-lapse would look absolutely horrific for you guys. So many jerky camera movements and everything, so I usually I apologize. I'm still sick, guys. I apologize. But I usually just skip out this part of it. But some of you guys might want to see this. See what I do in the background to try to make some of these fields work. See a couple more sticks there I gotta get rid of. Right. Let's run back to this little group over here. I know those are ghost trees. I've already cleared those. One of the good things about running with the blade down is it kind of mulches the grass. And because this stuff is painted with a grass that doesn't like actually grow back, it just deletes some of the grass. So you can kind of see where you've been, even if there are ghost trees. You can kind of look up and be like, oh, okay, I've already driven through that. Try to grab this one here. Go away, tree. Alright. One more and then we move on to the next little area. Alright. Really? Apparently that was a tree. Alright. Well, I'm glad I got stuck on it. Alright, so we should have already done that. I think this last little cluster up here is about it. But we can shave that back if it's not part of the forest. Kind of looks like our thing goes behind it, but also looks like it might actually not. Let me just quickly go into construction. So yeah, this is actually technically part of the forest. So instead of getting rid of this bunch, we would go around it. This up here, though, this is part of the forest, and that's a dead-end road. Okay. And then this is part of a forest that goes off the map, so we don't have to touch that. Okay, so really we only got 2 more bunches in this field, it looks like. Because everything else is along the roads. Yeah. Alright, well, let's leave these alone then. And then we'll just drive up to the next area. It's quite a ways away. You can see this is going to be a gargantuan field, though. Once we get it ready, this is going to be a massive field. Alright, so these should be the 2 little spots that we need to hit. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be able to hit all of this with a field. I don't know what we're going to do with it. Because, again, I mean, look at the slope of this hill. This hill is ridiculous. All right. Where do we see? Okay, so it's just this bunch right here, and then those stay. All right. Now the next thing we need to do is kind of come up this direction and see if there's anything over there, because that's the next field also. Where we've got this field area that we can plant in, or mow and plant. This area can be something. I don't know if it'll be a field. And then this area down here, we do have a couple of trees there that can go. Obviously, this is more of a forest. How do we want to handle this field? I think in general, I think this field would be... Maybe cut these couple of trees here down. And then these couple of trees. Then we can make a field out of that. Alright, let's head over there. I think we got a plan. And then this should be all the trees that we need to cut down for the time being. And that will allow us to put in some pretty massive fields. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of work. We got to come through, we got to mow everything, then we got to plow everything. So, this is a lot of land to mow and plow. Then we got to plant it all. Still left a piece behind. Dagnabbit. Okay. Now again, we don't want to hit the main part of the forest. We just want the little bits that are in the middle where we can create a field. Okay. And then we shave these ones back as well. Alright, this should be the last tree along here. I know that this technically connects through there. So in theory, I should get rid of this entire group of trees in the middle of where I could make one giant field. I'm not going to. One, because that's a lot of trees, and two, because I feel like that's enough trees that I shouldn't cut. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm trying to make it to where we make fields that make sense and go with the natural borders rather than just cutting everything out of my way and making the biggest fields possible. Does that make sense? Alright. Let's go ahead and check in and see how we're looking. So we've gotten rid of these little clusters. They no longer exist. I say, as there's like a shadow right there for no reason. A little awkward. Okay, this is the next one. You can see that there's like a natural curve right here. I think we get rid of this big tree and all the way out to that red or that Scotch pine. I think that makes sense. So let's head down and do that. So this is the big tree right here. So if we just come in here and start with this tree and then work our way out, that should allow us to naturally come through here and connect two parts of this field in a natural, decent, wide corner without it being too crazy. Right. Beautiful. All right, one last check. I think that's everything. Again, I know that this connects, and I know that I could go through and cut this entire little chunk of forest, but I feel like this is too many trees that I wouldn't cut down in like normally. Like that would just be insane. So I'm treating this as kind of a mini forest. We may utilize this, but we probably won't utilize that. So this is going to be one of those awkward fields, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing with it, to be fair. But I think that is all of our trees that we needed to cut down today. Oh, never mind. We got a couple along here. Obviously, the ones next to the road are fine, but these ones that reach out to the field are a different story. So let's go over and have a come-to-Jesus meeting with them. And then these roads that are in here, I mean, they'll just get plowed under. I'm not worried about them. Because, again, these are like little service roads that would go to houses, like driveways and stuff like that. So we don't care about that at all. There's no houses, there's no service roads. Remember, the original owners of these properties down here were thinking about putting some sort of like campground or like vacation cabins and stuff out here. So they laid in a few spots for like where they would build their cabins and stuff, but they never actually ended up using them. So we bought the property, we get to do what we want with it, but we don't get rid of county roads, the roads that leave the map. That is our rule. Alright, this little tree can be the last one. Alright, everything else I think can stay, because it's more or less along the road. Maybe these two trees here. That way we have a better corner down here. But I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and take this thing back over to the farm. It looks like our workers are almost done. Maybe they're getting ready to start the headlands soon, which is perfect timing if you ask me. I know this is a bit of a different episode. I don't think you guys have ever seen me actually clearing wood on this series, other than a couple of times when we cut a couple of little trees by hand and loaded them onto trucks when we were making our roadway over there. But man, we just opened up so much more land for fields. So much more land. Now we just got to figure out what we want to do with it. So if you guys have any suggestions on which areas you think would be right for which things, let me know. That big field down there is the big one. Like, what are we going to plant on that big field? Right? And then, obviously, like I said, I kind of think a big grass field would be perfect for this one. Obviously, I know those are ghost trees. I'm pretty confident I cleared all the trees. Worst case scenario, once we get done, like the next episode when we go to mow everything, we'll find out if we got all the trees or not. But yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be some massive, massive fields. And not only are they going to be massive fields, but this is going to completely transform this side of the map too. Remember, we've kind of had these, we've been driving past for so long, they're still all brush looking and nasty. We're about to completely transform them overnight. Like, it's going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. Now, this area right here, this is going to be an interesting one because, again, there's not a lot of usable surface here, but you could absolutely put something in here if we wanted to. Or we could just save it for potentially building more like equipment storage or something like that. Who knows? Because it's not the most uneven terrain, you know, so we could potentially build something here. Kind of like we did over here where we kind of built into the side of the hill a little bit with this, whatever you call it. I always forget. Quonset, I think it's called. But yeah, let's go ahead and get over here. We are going to refuel. Shouldn't take us too long to refuel. And then we'll probably go ahead and hit the repairs for the tree begon and this before we put it away. And we might go ahead and hose things down today too. Been a while since we've done some good washing. Might just go through and hose everything down. Clean it up a little bit before we get into more dirty work. Alright, let's repair the tree begon and repair the tractor. Keep everything in tip-top shape. But I like this little New Holland. I know it's part of the Highlands expansion, but this little tractor's been nice for us. Actually, let's put the tree begon right here next to the unrealistic plow. Which we still have that, by the way. We might be using that in the near future. Just depends. With that being said, let's go ahead and park this up. Alright, save. And then let's go check on our two workers and see how they're doing. I think they're both going to finish roughly about the same time, which is funny because we did start the sunflower harvest early, or sunflower planting a little bit earlier. So, yeah, we've got our onion planter over here. He's just getting to the end of the down and backs. This area of the field is kind of awkward. And then he should be able to do his, I think he's got maybe one more down and back, and then it'll be the headlands. He seems to be doing just fine. We are going to have to keep a sharp eye out for our onion field this year. We're going to have to try to make sure that no white rot takes our crop this year. I don't know if there's a fungicide we can use. I know there isn't in the game, and I know that technically white rot doesn't exist in the game, but in my head, that's what happened. Otherwise, I can't explain it. Alright. Sunflowers, he got maybe 1 or 2 more down in backs, and then he'll do his headlands as well, so both of these guys are going to finish roughly about the same time, which is perfect. But I mean, just look at how big those fields are going to be. I can't wait, man. You guys know I love some big fields, and this map has given me everything that I love about big fields, and then some, because we have fantastic terrain. The map is so nice. Like, I'm so happy. I've said this a million times. I am so happy at how everything has turned out up here. Let's check on our cows and everything. Everybody's got food. Everybody's got straw. Let's walk out into the field and see how everybody's doing. Our beautiful little pond over here looking nice. Wonder if there's any sound effects yet. There. Hey, they are. Good. Our frogs are back. It just was... Maybe they just don't show up in the spring... Or like in the winter time. Which makes sense. They are kind of... Oh my god. Hello, cattle. Y'all been taking lessons from the goats all of a sudden. Man, y'all grew up quick. Holy beef cows. Look at you. You got horns. Look at you guys. You're cute. Ah, these things are massive, man. All of them are. We got our Black Angus over here. Not seeing any horns on our Black Angus. But the Highland cows, the limousines, they have horns. Look at the tail on the freaking Highlands cows. Everything's furry and bushy. Look at that. It's got to be the biggest tail I've ever seen on a cow. Look at these guys, man. Tell me those aren't some happy cows. They look like happy cows to me. Got everything they could ever ask for. And then the ones that are a little bit more solitary, they're just hanging out down here, overlooking the work in the field. Look at this guy. This guy down here, these guys have the right idea. They're just down here watching the work. Just down here watching the work. Sorry, buddy, didn't mean to bug you. I'm not trying to bug you. You camera shy? I get it. You camera shy. It's alright, buddy. That's alright. I understand. I'll leave you alone. But, yeah, I love this, man. I love our farm. Our farm has come so far. It's so nice. And then, like I said, the croaking of the frogs up here, they're back. So pretty. So pretty, man. Oh, we got flying cows. Nobody look. Wouldn't be our farm if it wasn't for magic animals, right? All right. So, I mean, if we're almost done, let's enter this guy. He should be on his headlands by now, and he is. So we'll just watch him as he goes around on his headlands pass. We might have to mow this area right over here too. Tired of looking at all that nasty brush. Now that we've got a big mower, we might just knock that out. I mean, Lord knows we're going to be having a mowing mega episode soon. Maybe you guys would want to see that in a live stream. Let me know. Maybe we can stream that, because that's going to be a long episode. And I know you guys like long episodes, and some of you guys have been asking for streams, so maybe we can do that. Just go through and mow the areas that need to be mowed for our new fields, but also maybe come over and touch up some of these other areas that just are brush. Take us back to our roots of taming the wildlands. Now we should have a good look at our cows as we drive by up here. Look at them. Look at them up there. Look at the little guy flying. A couple little guys flying. Get down from there, you crazy cows. You're going to hurt yourself. I can't turn you into steaks if you're flying. Oh, that guy just teleported. Maybe a plane will drive by and hit my cows. Then I'll have ground beef. If you didn't laugh at that joke, I ain't got nothing for you anymore. Come on. That was hilarious. You can do it, buddy. You're so close to finishing the field. So close. You can tell these guys get paid by the hour. That's all I'm saying. You can tell they get paid by the hour. They ain't in no hurries. All right. Good job, buddy. Well done. Let's get this thing back over to the Quonset hut. We'll park it. I may paint this one so that it stands out different from the other one, so that we know which one is onions and which one isn't. So we may put like a different color on this one, just so that we know which one is which. We'll get this back over there. Like I said, we'll drop it down into maintenance real quick. We'll get it repaired up, make sure everything's in tip-top shape. This tractor's starting to cost us an arm and a leg in repairs all the time. So it might be time to sell it off and replace it. I mean, it does have almost 50 hours on it, which in real life is nothing. But in this game is ancient, apparently. Which I'm pretty sure we bought this used, if I remember correctly. We got a good deal on it. So that's part of it. Previous owner didn't do a very good job of maintaining it, and we've been stuck with the repairs ever since. But it's helped us through, man. It's done a lot of work for us here on the farm. So I cannot complain, that's for sure. I mean, I can complain, but I shouldn't. But if you guys are excited for these huge field expansions, please let me know. And like I said, if you guys have any ideas for what you would like to see, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to turn this field right here to our right into a grass field. But beyond that, let me know what you guys think we should do for the gigantic 2 fields at the end. What you guys think, if you have any ideas what we should do with this, or maybe we just leave this. What if we just leave this? Or we could maybe plant this as a grass field too. It'd be a smaller grass field, but it would look pretty. Be nice green grass like that over there. But yeah, I don't know. I think we could leave it for the time being as potential expansion in the future for storage and buildings and stuff. Alright, we're going to pull this sucker into the shop real quick. We're going to repair both this and the planter. Another $3,000 repair bill, $1,200 repair bill. Lord have mercy. Alright. Let's go put this in the Quonset. Actually, if we're going to hose things off, maybe we hose this off too while we got it here. Spray her down, get her nice and clean. There we go. Now we got her looking relatively nice. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot to paint it, didn't we? We were going to paint it a different color. Alright. Leave that for the time being. Like I said, we got to have a way to make this stand out from the other one so that we know which one is the one capable of planting onions. So if we take the main color of this thing and change it to Kinsey orange. There we go. Didn't cost us anything, but now we definitely have a way to tell the two apart. We just got to remember that the orange one is for onions. Pretty sure there's a Sesame Street song. O is for onions. Orange is for onions. There you go. Perfect. Alright, we'll put the other one right next to it. We'll park this for the time being. Just have to remember to refuel it next time. Save and then go check on our sunflower field. I didn't see a notification that he was done yet, so I can only assume that he's still working. Yep, it looks like he's doing the headlands right now as we speak. Very nice. Beautiful. What are the odds of that? I mean, it's almost like I scripted that. We got up here at the perfect time to see him finish his job. You'll love to see it. All right, let's get this thing back to the house then. And neither of these need to be maintained, but we will. Why did you guys let me put that freaking power washer back when you knew I had to spray off a second Kinsey planter? I'm blaming you guys for that one. Whoa, here. Whoa. God bless America, Goofy. Get it under control. It was a bit awkward. No. You trying to open up on me now? Must have bumped the switch when I was tipping it over. Oh, we're starting to put some speed in her now. I love that I'm not even driving on the road. I'm just like, I can't be bothered to try to get close to my wheat field right now, or I'll end up tearing it up. Alright, let's pull out our power washer again, since you guys let me put it away. Knowing full well that I had to spray down another planter. I'm going to take this 5 seconds of me walking over here and grabbing this out of your paycheck. You guys are supposed to keep me online. Hello? Oh, there we go. Like it wasn't going to work. This shouldn't take as long to spray off, because it was just the one field that we planted. This is brand new, so it should look nice and shiny. Beautiful. Alright, just park that there for the time being. See if we can't reverse this around the corner and into the Quonset hut. Boy, this thing sounds really good in reverse. I mean, credit where credit is due. You're somewhat impressed, right? Just a little bit? A little tiny, maybe? Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll spray all my equipment down off screen because we've already been going for an hour and 15 minutes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.